Please pause the presentation and read this disclaimer. When you're ready, press play to continue. Welcome to the Agriculture and Farm Safety Tractors webinar. We'll be covering the requirements regarding agriculture and farm activities with tractors, including definitions, hazards associated with these activities, agricultural safety, and the training that may be required to perform these duties. Agriculture is one of the most hazardous industries in the United States. According to the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, deaths to workers in the agriculture, forestry, fishing, and hunting industry occurred at a rate of 18.6 per 100,000 workers in 2022. Transportation incidents, including from tractors and ATVs, were the leading cause of death. There were over 21,000 non-fatal injuries that led to days away from work between 2021 and 2022. However, NIOSH and others have noted that agricultural injuries and fatalities are often underreported. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, workers in the agricultural industry had the 10th highest fatality rate per 100,000 workers in 2022 at 20. This is almost 5.5 times the average for all workers across all occupations, which was 3.7 deaths per 100,000 workers. According to the National Safety Council, tractor accidents are the leading cause of injury and death among farm workers. Tractors and other transportation related incidents are the number one cause of death on the farm, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Failure to observe safety precautions when operating tractors and attachments can result in serious injury or death. The most common types of serious accidents are the following: rollovers. The U.S. Department of Labor reports that 44% of farm accidents are due to tractor rollovers. Tractor rollovers are the leading cause of fatalities in the agricultural industry, resulting in approximately 130 deaths per year. The second most common incident with tractors is being run over. This will usually happen when the operator dismounts the tractor to fix a problem and leaves the tractor running without applying the lock brake. The third most common incident with tractors is being caught in or by moving parts. Many times this involves the PTO or the power takeoff not being properly guarded. Collisions or struck by is the fourth most common incident involving tractors. Tractors are much slower moving vehicles than automobiles when operating on the highway, and certain precautions must be in place. Let's familiarize ourselves with the definitions used when related to tractors according to OSHA's regulations under 29 CFR 1928 subpart C. The definition of agricultural tractor means a two or four-wheel drive type vehicle or track vehicle of more than 20 engine horsepower designed to furnish the power to pull, carry, propel, or drive implements that are designed for agriculture. All self-propelled implements are excluded. A low-profile tractor means a wheeled tractor that possesses the following characteristics. The front wheel spacing will be equal to the rear wheel spacing as measured from the center line of each right wheel to the center line of the corresponding left wheel. The clearance from the bottom of the tractor chassis to the ground will not exceed 18 inches. The highest point of the hood does not exceed 60 inches, and the tractor will be designed so that the operator straddles the transmission when seated. Now we'll take a look at some general requirements that apply to all agricultural tractors manufactured after October 25th, 1976. The first requirement addresses the leading cause of death with tractors: rollover protective structures. Rollover protective structures shall be provided by the employer for each tractor operated by an employee. There may be exemptions depending on the type and setting of the work being conducted. If low-profile tractors are used while they're in orchards, vineyards, or hop yards, where the vertical clearance requirements would substantially interfere with normal operations and while their use is incidental to the work performed therein. Another exemption may be when a tractor is used inside a farm building or greenhouse in which the vertical clearance is insufficient to allow the rollover protective structure that's equipped to the tractor to operate, and while their use may be incidental to the work performed therein. The last exemption is a tractor used with mounted equipment that may be incompatible with the rollover protective structure. This will include corn pickers, cotton strippers, vegetable pickers, and fruit harvesters. Where ropes are removed for any reason, they should be remounted to meet the manufacturer's requirements. Each rollover protective structure shall have a label permanently affixed to the structure that will state the manufacturer or fabricator's name and address, the model number, the tractor make, model, or series number that the structure is designed to fit, and that the rollover protective structure model was tested in accordance with the requirements of this subpart. Another requirement when operating a tractor with rollover protective structures is seat belts. Seat belts will prevent the operator from being ejected and possibly having the tractor roll over top of them. The employer must ensure that the employee is properly using a seat belt while the tractor is moving so that the operator stays confined to the rollover protective structure area. Every employee who operates an agricultural tractor shall be informed of the operating practices contained in Appendix A of 29 CFR 1928, Subpart C, and of any other practices dictated by the work environment. Such information shall be provided at the time of initial assignment and at least annually thereafter. These operating instructions include securing your seat belt if the tractor has rollover protective structure. Avoid operating a tractor near ditches, embankments, and holes. The operator should also reduce the speed when turning, crossing slopes, and on rough, slick, or muddy surfaces. Precautions should be made to stay off slopes that may be too steep for safe operation. The employer should also inform the employee to watch where they are going, especially at row ends, on roads, and around trees. The operator shall not permit passengers to ride on the tractor while operating. The operator should also be informed to operate the tractor smoothly with no jerky turns, stops, or starts. They shall also ensure that they hitch only to the drawbar and hitch points that are recommended by the tractor manufacturer. When the tractor is stopped, the brakes should be set securely and a park lock should be used if available. One of the many uses of a tractor is the ability to power farm field equipment through the means of a power takeoff system or a PTO. The PTO allows the tractor to transfer power to various attached implements and equipment. Tractors used primarily for tasks such as plowing, mowing, tilling, and operating other implements typically come with a PTO as standard equipment. The rotational speed of the PTO shaft, often referred to as PTO RPM or revolutions per minute, is crucial for ensuring proper operation of implements and attachments. Common PTO speeds include 540 revolutions per minute and 1,000 revolutions per minute, although variations may exist depending on the tractor's make and model. This type of speed makes the turning of the PTO shaft extremely dangerous. Most incidents with PTO systems involve clothing becoming caught in the shaft. Here's a list of precautions one should take when working in and around a PTO system that's in operation. Make sure that the component is shielded. Regularly test the shields. Ensure that correct drawbar length is used. Always disengage the PTO when dismounting the tractor. If shielding becomes damaged, make repairs promptly or replace before continuing use. Other precautions you should be aware of is to walk around the machine and never try to step over a rotating shaft. Always watch your step and be aware of the terrain. Don't wear loose clothing when operating around a PTO shaft. Ensure that long hair is tied back and always keep children away from an operating PTO system. All power takeoff shafts, including rear, mid, or side mounted shafts, shall be guarded either by a master shield or by other protective guarding. All tractors shall be equipped with an agricultural tractor master shield on the rear power takeoff, except where removal of the tractor master shield may be permitted. The master shield shall have sufficient strength to prevent permanent deformation of the shield when a 250-pound operator mounts or dismounts the tractor using the shield as a step. Also, signs should be placed at prominent locations on tractors and power takeoff driven equipment, specifying that power driven system safety shields must be kept in place. Now we'll look at tractor safety on highways. Employers should train tractor operators to avoid highways during busy peak travel times or poor visibility, and at night or during bad weather. Lighting and markings for tractors and towed equipment should be up to date and in accordance with transportation regulations. Tractor operators should consider using emergency flashers and an escort vehicle to increase the tractor's visibility when traveling for extended periods on the highway. The tractor should have a clean, highly visible, unfaded, slow moving vehicle emblem affixed to the rear. Slow moving vehicle emblems are required in 34 states, including Kentucky, and they must be displayed on the rear of any tractor and its towed attachment traveling 25 miles per hour or slower. In this module, we have covered requirements regarding agricultural and farm activities with tractors, including definitions, hazards associated with these activities, agricultural safety, and the training that may be required to perform these duties. In closing, employees and supervisors should be aware that all other applicable standards should be followed in accordance with the requirements of the specific standard when tasks or duties make it appropriate. That concludes our webinar on agriculture and farm safety with tractors. Thank you for joining us and look for more upcoming editions. For more free online learning opportunities, please visit our website, and thank you for watching this presentation.